Alrighty, I'm back. I'm ready to go into the geodesic psycho-isolation chamber. Let's see what's going on. Alka, can you quit it? Let me stand. Oh, well, if I stand over here, then Maloof will start screaming. Let me move over here. I do need to issue a correction from the first episode of this because I forgot that Friendster was a website that existed. Originally, all the camper profiles were on Friendster, and then they got moved to MySpace, and then they got moved to the official Double Fine Entertainment website. They're not available anymore, but you can still access them through the Wayback Machine. They're like all archived, so you can see a lot about that. A lot about the campers and them kind of interacting with each other. A lot of it's a little bit more adult though. Like, they actually swear over there. A lot of the dialogue from the campster profiles made it into the game in the like bulletin boards or when the characters talk to each other, but a lot of it didn't, because a lot of it's very odd. Maybe we'll read some when we get to little camper profiles more, but it's a lot of cool like background information. I feel like it's not the most interesting to read. Let me let him out first.
Thanks. I thought I was gonna have to eat my own arm.
What is this thing?
It's a GPC, a geodesic psycho-isolation chamber.
Oh man, cool!
Cool? Do you have any idea what this does?
Something cool?
No. It's a six-sensory deprivation tank, a hermetically sealed metaphysical hotbox. It's solitary confinement for psychics.
Nasty. And the coach locked you inside it?
Nah, the staff hasn't put any kids in the GPC since the 50s.
Allegedly.
Bobby threw me in here.
Bully and dwarf accomplice should assault own size or larger only. While in cooler, perhaps notice gigantic bear with skin where hair should be?
I didn't see anything in there. That's the whole point.
Just so. Empty now. Good luck, small ones.
Hey, wait!
The threads of story are being fed to us. Also, the reason I say allegedly is because it's actually implied that Bobby was put in the GPC as punishment for being so mean to all the other kids. Oh, where's the bear? There it is. Luckily, he can't get us in here. Though he may try. Anyways. Yeah, I don't necessarily love reading all the campster profiles, especially because it's very, like, it feels a little Riverdale. In a better way than Riverdale is, but not in the best way, where it's a lot of, like, little drama between the campers. They're all supposed to be, or they all are, between the ages of, like, 8 and 12, I think. But they're definitely often written like they're teens, and they have a lot of, like, relationship teen drama. It's a little strange. But it's cool to read other things about them. Like Elka, where is she? Part of the reason that Elka is so relationship obsessed is that she has the gift of premonition, and her parents got divorced, and it was very messy, and she could tell that it was going to happen. So she's very obsessed with, like, trying to find the one very early. Good thing I have my button. That's the wrong one. My bad. Woo!
Agent 9? I'm here for the advanced training.
Obviously, a lot of Psychonauts in general is based on, like, 60s pulp stuff, but I feel like Sasha's, well, Mia might be more strongly so, but Sasha's pretty bad. Look at this staircase. I love it. Look at this decor.
So what are we gonna learn? Bending spoons? Burning stuff?
I want to say there's a scavenger hunt item in here somewhere, but I don't see it anywhere. Well, we'll be back in any case. It doesn't matter all that much.
I've been hearing a lot about head explosion, and I was wondering...
Science, Rasputin. That is what we practice down here, not parlor tricks.
Parlor
If you are
tricks, like
serious about
head
exploring
explosion.
The possibilities of your mind. Step up to the brain tumbler, and we'll begin.
Brain tumbler? Could you try it first?
Step up to the brain tumbler when you're ready.
Unfortunately, Sasha won't respond to a lot of Rise's snippy dialogue. He's all
So,
business.
What's this hairdryer thing do?
Ah, you're ready for the brain tumbler. With this device, we will send you deep into your own psyche, where you should find unparalleled insight and power.
Excellent! Tumble away.
Now just relax. This will not hurt. Unless something really very bad happens.
Instilling a lot of confidence in me, Sasha.
Wow. Is this what the inside of my mind looks like?
Not yet. You're still traveling to the astral plane. This is a tiny corner of what we call the collective unconscious, a place in which all of our unconscious minds are connected. You have just begun your training, Rasputin, so many of the connections with other minds are still not developed for you, and those doorways remain just out of reach. But the more you explore the mental world, the more connections you will form. Right now, the only unconscious world you can enter is that one, your own. Step through it, and we'll continue.
So yeah, this is Psychonauts' version of a little hub world. I try not to use it, but it is really, really important if you're doing 100% or if you want to backtrack and, you know, try to get some extra levels or whatever. I forgot that you can jump over that. Woo! But it just sends you right back. Part of the reason I don't like it is because I don't know if I'm a little not smart, but I can never tell whose door is whose. The Brain Tumbler one is the only one I can remember. But I don't know, it just doesn't give Raz to me, you know what I mean? Raz's hair is kind of this color, but you can't really see any of his hair because of his hat, so this is just the one that I have memorized because it's the one that you have to go to, like, mandatorily story-wise. We will access the other brains differently, so it just feels a little odd sometimes. Luckily, when you walk up to them, it'll say which brain it is, but still.
Sasha? Where am I?
You are inside your own mind, but I'm not sure where. Tell me, what can you see?
I see a rundown gypsy caravan.
Do you recognize it?
Yes. It's where I was born.
I see. Compelling.
I also don't understand why there's a little warp guy here. I just don't know why you would want to be here. Anyways, let's get a little bit of Raz backstory. Come here! Come here! Rasputin's getaway. Let me move that mouse. Wow, circus things! Ooh, mysterious pamphlet. I read the pamphlet while I'm doing my sick lifts and getting my gains. Wow, a psychic summer camp. My dad hates it. No. But I know what I must do. Sneaking into the world's smallest pony enclosure to make my great escape. I love the world's smallest pony. It's so determined. And now I'm at Whispering Rock Psychic Summer Camp after catching a ride with a lumberjack. Hooray. Oh, also, I almost forgot to mention, the first episode I recorded while I was offline, and I forgot that I have Steam Cloud set up, so it wiped my first save. So if you notice that I have, like, way more arrowheads and way more cards than before, it's because I ran through the first level in Whispering Rock, like, as quickly as I could, like, skipping every single cutscene, not talking to anybody, and just getting all the... just, like, running past every arrowhead that I saw, which, funnily enough, first episode's like an hour and a half long. Let's see. Took me less than 30 minutes. That shows you how much of the game is taken up by
going inside the
dialogue.
What do you see inside?
I'm not sure. It's getting fuzzy.
I love this effect. I'm in an egg.
Rasputin, are you okay? What do you see now?
I see a small, bunny-like animal thing.
An unfamiliar animal entity in a dream often represents a primal fear or memory. Follow it, and it should lead you somewhere important.
Check. Okay, Mr. Bun. You and I are gonna be tight. Wherever you go, I go. Like two peas in a... Hey! Come back here!
Also, was that real? Is an unfamiliar animal in a dream about fear? I don't think I've ever seen a weird animal in a dream. I mean, I guess a bunny's not very weird, but you know, if you're not normally dreaming of bunnies. Luckily, this area is really straightforward, so it's a good place to get a lot of figments. We're also seeing a lot of those weird meat plants here. Like that. Which apparently a lot of kids have been having nightmares about. The kids at camp are not alright. They're kind of messed up.
Sasha?
What is it? Another bunny?
No. This is more of a super scary flaming-eyed demon kind of deal.
Oh.
What?
Okay, I'm pulling you out of there. Just give me a second.
Sasha?
Hold on, I'm still getting some unusual interference. It's fascinating, as if someone else...
Agent 9?
Sorry, almost ready.
Sasha!
Someone else, you say?
That should not have happened. We need to try that again.
Oh, I don't think I need to be in the tumbler with the glowy eye guys anymore.
Suit yourself. You know, in many tribal societies, learning to defeat the
Not
monsters
tribal
you see in your
societies.
dreams is considered a rite of passage. I can train you to fight. Come see me when you're ready.
Now, I would just go straight in there, but there's a reason he... Damage save game. Oh, jeez. Just save over, it's fine. There's a reason he says that, and it's because I think some campers get extra dialogue. So I'm gonna go check that out. If there's not any, then again, it will abruptly cut, but I would like to show this first.
Hey!
Welcome to the Whispering Rocket Underground Rapid Transit System. Would you like to go back to your private sanctuary now, Agent Cruller? Or somewhere else?
Let's go talk to Cruller.
Let's go to Ford's... I mean, my sanctuary.
Yes, no.
Technically, we're not supposed to have met him yet, but it's fine. I would just like to speak to him.
You finally made it.
It's an honor to finally meet you in person, sir. I thought I recognized you in my dream, but I couldn't be sure. Now that I see you in your element, there's no doubt. You're Ford Cruller, the greatest leader the Psychonauts ever had.
Well, you shouldn't believe everything you read.
I think it's funny
through
that
psychic tales
Crawler's
and
face is very
imagination.
similar to the bunny's. It like has the exact same angle on the lopsided eyes and kind of the same shape.
What are you doing here at Whispering Rock?
This trading facility is built right smack on top of the largest titanium deposit known to man. It runs under this whole valley and makes this a very critical area for the Psychonauts. So I'm here to look after it and to make sure you little spoon benders don't kill each other.
And they've tried many times.
What's Titanium?
Titanium is a very rare psychoreactive mineral that crashed here on a meteorite hundreds of years ago. It responds to psychic waves, focuses them, amplifies them. It can make psychics more psychic, but it can also make unstable people more unstable. Not everyone can handle that much activity in that part of their brain. It can drive them completely out of their gourd. Gives this valley an interesting history.
So yeah, it's a curious thing about Psychonauts is obviously a lot of the game is explicitly about mental health. It's not like an allegory or anything. It's you go into someone's brain because there's something wrong with them and you try to fix it. And it is not always great about it, Psychonauts. I definitely have mixed feelings on its sort of representation of the matter. It is a game from 2005, and I feel like overall it's a net positive, if very clumsy. It gets worse in the sort of last half of the game, but in the first half I think it's okay. I think Titanium as a MacGuffin is kind of interesting, where it'll make psychics stronger, but if you are someone with any kind of mental illness, it will make them worse. But I'm never sure how those two things interact. Because there's not a lot of characters. Everyone in the game is kind of kooky. They're a little off-center, to put it politely, but that's just how the game is across the board, right? So it's difficult to tell if you know, if they are trying to represent some of the psychic kids as having mental illness, and then how Psytanium affects both of those things at the same time. It seems like it does both things, where it makes them more irritable and like more susceptible to like negative symptoms, but it also makes their psychic powers stronger. And that's part, I think, at least, that's part of why there is so much drama between the campers. Obviously, kids are mean and horny and weird, especially because, like I said earlier, they're really not depicted like they're 10 years old. They're all depicted like they're between 12 and 16, more like. But I have to assume that that's why they are sort of so amplified, let's say. They're so wild all the time. Let's ask a couple of other things, especially this one is important. I saw you raking leaves. Was that a disguise?
I saw you raking leaves. Was that a disguise?
Yes, well, I have many disguises. It helps me keep an eye on you kids wherever you go. Now, when I'm in disguise, I may pretend not to recognize you. Don't blow my cover, okay?
Say no more. Your secret identity is safe with me.
And that'll be more important later. I don't want to spoil things exactly, but, I mean, obviously Crowley's lying, right? We can all tell. We're not 10-year-old, naive, kind boy Raz, but he's definitely lying about this. And this is another sort of little representation of mental illness that I think is not bad at all. I mean, I said no spoilers, but I'm just gonna say what it is. Or at least the base information. We'll get more from Ford later. But it's that because of an accident in the past, Ford, like, basically something bad happened to his brain, like physically, literally, with psychic stuff. And it has given him... I mean, this is a bad thing about, like, old school mental health representation, is that it tends to be very vague and just kind of throw a bunch of symptoms together. But he seems to have either dementia or dissociative identity disorder, or both. And so all of the different crawlers that we see above ground are like his different sort of personalities, I guess, different versions of Ford. And down here, because he's so close to the Psytanium, it's kind of buoying his mind so he can act how he would normally act. But I do think it's important to mention that, as clumsy as that is, I think it's really nice and really important that Ford is never depicted as dangerous in any manner. Well, in a no more manner than an average crotchety old man when he is his other sort of personalities. Like, they're all so mundane, and any kind of person with alternate personalities in media is usually depicted as really dangerous, right? Like Split. You have one personality that's an evil serial killer, and the good personality doesn't know, so you need to stop it, or whatever. And it's like, that's never how it is. Ford is probably more accurate, where every single version of Ford is doing a different, extremely mundane thing. Like, he's a chef, or he's a ranger, or he's a janitor. It's all very kind of normal stuff. I don't particularly think they were going for dissociative identity disorder here. I think they were just trying to say that Ford is confused. I think dementia is probably not necessarily what they were going for, but where they landed. I like to believe that Ford had all of these jobs previously in his life, and that's why he's just ending up there. He's like, well, I'm in a kitchen. I guess I'm a cook. But yeah, again, clumsy, but Ford is probably one of the better ones. I think it's also nice to have an old character who very clearly has mental health issues and yet is treated with, like, respect and dignity as much as any other characters, right? I feel like that's a lot of why Psychonauts can kind of get away with things without them feeling bad in any way, is because Psychonauts is such a strange world and all the characters are weird and traumatized and goofy that you just never get the sensation that anyone in particular is being really hard discriminated against, except for a couple cases, which again we'll get to much later. But yeah, for the first half of the game, everything feels pretty good, I would say, and Ford feels pretty good. I really enjoy him. Also, I have a soft spot for old people. Let's just ask him the rest of his questions.
What does all this equipment do?
Well, up here, it's all intel. Down that hallway is the observation room. No tests going on in there right now. Maybe later. And beneath us, I have special machines for rebuilding side challenge markers and detangling mental cobwebs. You should go familiarize yourself with those. They'll come in pretty handy for you.
Well, we haven't bought any side quests, but we can do that in a bit.
So, what mission are you on down here?
Well, from here I can monitor world events, look for signs of psychic terrorism, ripples in the astral plane.
And then fly out and save the day, right? You've got a jet hidden here somewhere, I'll bet.
Well, these days I'm really just more of a dispatcher. I spot the trouble and send out a younger agent, like Mia or Sasha. Or maybe you someday.
Yeah, so Ford is definitely the sort of archetype of the old character who used to be the hottest shit on Earth and he doesn't entirely know what to do about it.
What does all this equipment do?
But
Well,
I think...
up here, it's
Oh,
all
one second.
intel. Down that hallway is the observation room. No tests going on in there right now. Maybe later. And beneath us, I have special machines for rebuilding side challenge markers and detangling mental cobwebs. You should go familiarize yourself with those. They'll come in pretty handy for you.
Anyways, before I accidentally clicked on the wrong thing and they started talking, a lot of the issues that could occur with Cruller are also alleviated by the fact that he is Raz's idol, and Raz is wide-eyed, naive, and just so happy to be here that, yeah, Cruller is old and maybe the other people in the Psychonauts don't think that he's particularly useful anymore, but Raz thinks he is the coolest person ever, and that he can be a field agent again, and that even if he can't, he would probably be the most important person ever. So, yeah, I definitely side with Raz here, that he's the coolest.
Sasha says I need to learn how to fight better.
You want to teach you advanced combat? On your first day?
Yeah, I had a vision with a huge monster with yellow eyes and a big mouth full of gnashing teeth.
Did it happen to spit anything at you?
Yeah, I think it was like an old diving helmet or something.
I see. Yes, well, we'd better get you armed.
Why? What's happening?
Nothing. Prepare your
Nothing.
mind. That's the motto of the Psychonauts. Here, this is a marksmanship learner's permit. It will only work when you're in Sasha's mind. Once you complete his shooting range, you'll get the real merit badge and you can Psy-blast anywhere you want.
Thanks. Psyblast?
Oh, you'll find out.
Not
Now
that
get
being right
going.
over Raz's
We
little
can't have
face.
the camp overrun with big-eyed garbage-spitting monsters, can we?
No, sir.
Oh,
I better go. Lots of work to do.
Good luck, Rasputin.
Thanks. I'll need it.
Don't worry, I'll be right here with you, inside your head.
My head?
Yep, I want to keep my eye on you, son, so I'm going to be a psychic stowaway inside your noggin. If you ever want to make me appear, you can do it with this special device.
Is that a piece of bacon?
Oh, yeah, I just love
Man after my
bacon.
own heart.
I smell that stuff and I can't help it. I drop everything and come running.
Okay. Do you have like a little baggie or something I could put this in?
You get a move on or I'll eat that right here.
I can hold my little piece
Now,
of
don't
bacon.
go pulling that out when I'm physically nearby, or I'm telling you, I'm going to eat it.
Oh, sorry. There's a couple of side cards in here. We can't do anything down here yet.
Now, before you go electrocuting yourself, let
But
me
we might
tell
as well
you
get this out of the
how
way.
these babies work. Now, this beauty here is a mental cobweb detangler.
Ooh, I know what those are. Mental cobwebs are...
You see, when an area of your psyche is neglected for too long, mental cobwebs form. Now, up in the camp store, they sell a very special device known as a mental cobweb duster. You can take a projection of it into the mental world with you and use it to extract any cobwebs you find. The duster stores the cobweb's psychic energy on the real world side. So, you can take what you collect back here, hook it up to the loom, and weave that tangled mess into something useful. Like a card from a side challenge marker, which brings us to this fella over here. You put 9 Psy cards into this guy, along with 1 Psy core, also sold in the company store for a nominal fee. And
Not
it will
this.
kick out a bona fide
I forgot
Psy
that he
challenge
says
marker,
that.
which will earn you a promotion to a higher rank. Rank up enough, you'll earn new psychic abilities. You got it?
Put my mental cobwebs in there, and my psi cards and cores in there, and soon I'll be able to burn stuff.
Yep, basically. Have fun.
It's not entirely addressed why Ford will always just like pop up in different places. It kind of is, but not really. I would have to like look at a wikia or something, because maybe it's from the VR spin-off of Psychonauts, the what's it called? The Rhombus of Ruin. But I don't know about it from this game. Most, if not all of the psychic characters tend to have a specialty. Like I said earlier, Elka's specialty is premonition, and then a lot of other characters will have particular ones. Sasha's specialty is kind of science and keeping his mind under control. Mia's specialty is levitation, etc., etc. So I don't know if Cruller's specialty is like teleportation, and I just missed that somewhere. But in any case, let me see what level I am. We're at rank 9, so I think what I'm gonna do
Where would you like me to take
is
you, Agent
we're just gonna
Cruller?
go ahead and, like I said before, and I keep saying that, it is really strange to be recording myself and instead of to be streaming. I feel like I repeat myself less when I'm streaming, but I'm gonna go check all the areas to make sure I don't miss some of the camper optional dialogue, because if I'm remembering correctly, a lot of the really fun stuff is right around now. So I'll go check that, and if none of the fun stuff is right now, we will cut directly back to Sasha's shooting gallery, and y'all will see me in Sasha's lab. So let's go. Let's go to the
Drop
main
me
lab
outside
first.
the main lodge.
Oh, bring me back a burger this time, will you?
I do quite enjoy all the dialogue from the sexy AI. Yeah, if I'm right, someone will be in the parking lot for us to talk to, and if I'm wrong, I'll go directly back to Sasha. Oi. Not the list coming out. Sasha's shooting gallery. Thank you. I appear to be wrong. Nope, I'm right. God, I love having such a big, juicy brain.
Hey, Maloof. You want some help getting that off your head?
If I take it off, Bobby might just put something worse on it, like a dirtier pair of underpants or an animal with teeth. I'm just gonna wait here until camp's over and my pop comes back to pick me up.
Come on, things can't be that bad. So you've got a jock strap on your...
Fish tied to head. Very clever. Bear investigate. Gets
I just
rested.
love how for some reason Mikhail
We'll
is
wait in
wearing
case
like
Bear wins.
cowboy
If
bell
any bear
bottoms.
shows up, feel free to cut
Maybe it's a
right in.
Russian thing I don't know about.
Anyway, it is that bad. First, Bobby and Benny locked me in the girls' shower. Then they wouldn't let me out of the toilet. Now they won't let me in any of the toilets. And in between, there was a lot of punching.
No. Then we locked you in the DP.
Look at those jiggle physics on
Maloof
his.
forfeits
his
place in
hair.
bear wrestling line. As repayment for courtesy, bullying now forbidden. All bullies acknowledge, please.
Get bent, commie. I'm gonna take your...
Call next move Deadly Nelson. When screaming starts, eyeball may pop out of bully head. Standing back suggested.
Okay! I won't touch him! Jeez!
Wait. I also don't know why he gets stuck there. Don't look at it. It's fine. And also his suitcase is gone, so.
Mental cobwebs getting you down. I've
Can
got
you let me
just
talk for
enough
2
ice up here in
seconds,
the
Ford?
main lodge store. Why don't you come on up and score yourself a cobweb duster before they're all sold out?
So one thing that I sort of forgot to talk about in the first bit, also because I don't think there's all that much interesting information, is these bulletin boards. They kind of just look like part of the background, but you can actually go up and read them, and they will usually have different messages after every major mission, so...
If anyone talks to the squirrels, they shouldn't listen because the squirrels are a bunch of stupid liars. Dogen. Great deals in the main lodge store. Drop by for great prices on Dream Fluffs, Psycores, and more. All available for just a few pieces of Titanium. Band practice today, in the main lodge.
Oops, I didn't... Well, it's fine. We already know about the band practice.
Warning. If I find out who's been biting holes in the bottom of these canoes, someone is going to get paddled. Admiral Cruller. Update. The levitators have broken up. However, there will be a practice session of the fire starters today in the main lodge. We are looking for someone who can play rock flute. Come on by and try out.
Lizzo?
Lily, if you're looking for me, I'll be down by the lake today. The fish seem a little upset, and I'm going to see what's wrong. But don't worry, I'll still do your homework for tomorrow. If you want. Elton Fur. Security cameras have been installed, and the next kid who jumps on my car is going to be very, very sorry.
Oh no.
Coach Oleander.
Caught red-handed on camera.
Hey, Clem and I just wanted to say that everyone did great in basic braining today. Give yourselves a hand. Woo. Love, Crystal. Man, she dotted every I with a puffy heart. And I just wanted to say ditto to that. Double ditto, in fact. Your friend, Clem. And I just wanted to point out, in case you didn't know, that Crystal's last name was Snagrash. Crystal Flowers Snagrash. No joke, Bobby Z. Vernon, Frankie totally has a crush on you. She is warm for your form. Signed, Anonymous. Warning, the abandoned mental institution across the lake is not Psychonauts' property, and not safe for children. Canoe access has been blocked off, but please, for your own safety, children, do not try to find another route. Love, Mia.
So there's a few important things there, especially in the last one. Earlier I said that a lot
On
of
sale
the
now in the main store.
Ford?
We have a special on Dream Fluffs. You hear me? Dream Fluffs. They're good for you. Keep a pocket full of these for a quick boost of mental health.
a lot of the mental health stuff takes a dip in the last half of the game, and with the mention of an abandoned mental institution across the lake, you can probably see where that's going. In addition to that, there's also some other just little character stuff, obviously, about Dogen, about the levitators / fire starters, Clem and Crystal being terminally delightful while Bobby does his absolute best to get them
Frankie,
down.
Could you please tell her I'll be waiting for her by Makeout Cave, Vernon. Greetings, pan-galactic travelers. I am currently developing a new vehicle for intergalactic travel. Flight tests are being performed at a remote location in the woods. Hope to soon be visiting you in person. Thanks for the messages, Chloe.
Chloe's still trying to go on her intergalactic adventure, meet her people in space. Frankie and Kitty being the meanest girls and telling Vernon, who is very unpopular, that Frankie is super in love with him. And then they're gonna ghost him. Elton having a massive crush on Lily and actually being kind of creepy. The thing is, Elton's supposed to be, I want to say he's like 8 years old or 10 years old or something in the canon. So him being creepy is not as bad, but oh boy, is he written like a total creep. Especially on the Campster message boards, which I if I can remember, I'll put a link to the Wayback Machine for them in the description. But Elton does a lot of creepy shit and is just constantly bugging Lily, and it's very, very strange. Just all over everyone's profile is him talking to Lily and trying to get her attention. He also shares a super rare psychic ability with Lily. I don't think anybody else in the games have it, and they barely mention it. I don't know how you would find the name, other than I think it's in Rhombus of Ruin.
Crazy, but I have just
Ford?
got to sell more.
Let me mute this, man. I believe they mention it by name in Rhombus of Ruin, but it's called herbophony, which is like apparently the ability to talk to plants. And Elton has it and Lily has it, which is part of why in Basic Braining we see her kind of messing with that psychic meat plant. She's not just looking at it, she's not just examining it, she is communicating telepathically with it to try to see what it saw and why it's here and stuff. And apparently Elton also has the ability, and he accidentally, in quotation marks, unclear, sends Lily like a research paper on the effects of sexual activity, sexual intercourse around psychic plants and how that influences their psychic behavior. And then is like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'm not a pervert. I'm not a plant sex freak. I didn't mean to do that. And Elton's just real creepy.
Psychors today. So yes, these prices are real. Here at the camp store, Psychors are just that cheap today.
It is, of course, played for laughs, but woof.
Goodbye, cool camp. I'm tired of
And this
being
is right
picked
before
on by
Maloof went
Bobby
over
and
there.
all the mean kids at camp. If I just had one friend here who was nice, then I would stay. But you're all mean and no one stands up for me, so I'm going home. I'll be in the parking lot waiting for my dad, so if you want to pick on me one last time, you'd better hurry.
Shouldn't have asked for it, Maloof.
Just an update for everyone. Nils and I are still broken up, and no matter how much he begs, I am not taking him back. Also, you should know that my new boyfriend doesn't like being called JT anymore. His real name is James. Sincerely, Elka. If anyone talks to the
Oh
squirrels...
yeah, we're good on that one. Yeah, so that's a big way to find out a lot of other information and to get an idea of what kind of goes on in the Psychonauts story before you actually experience it, right? The mental institution across the lake I don't think is mentioned basically right up until you get there. And it makes me want to talk about why sometimes Psychonauts doesn't work. Outside of any sort of jankiness or bugginess, why doesn't Psychonauts work sometimes? And I think that it's because it's kind of oddly between two different genres, like pretty solidly directly between them, if you ask me. And it is partway between a platformer and a point-and-click adventure game, which makes sense, of course. Most of Double Fine is former LucasArts. They worked on... Oh, right, I forgot the scavenger hunt. That's good. Most of them worked on Grim Fandango and then a few of the different Monkey Island games. So there's definitely like a point-and-click adventure game core at Double Fine. And it's already pretty obvious with all the campers' personalities, all the snippy dialogue, because I feel like that's kind of a mandatory thing with adventure games, right?
Up those scavenger hunt forms.
This
We
man.
got a couple of big promotions for the winner.
That's a very common thing with point-and-click adventure games, is either having a very strong story and or a very strong dialogue, if not both. They're often known for being really funny. Psychonauts has that about it. But in particular, the way the game's constructed sometimes feels more like a point-and-click adventure than a platformer. It's kind of like The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker, right? Where you do platforming, but it doesn't feel like a platformer. It just feels like, you know, you're controlling a 3D character in a 3D environment, so of course you're gonna do a little bit of platforming. Maybe this is just because I like platformers a lot, but most of the platforming in Psychonauts does not feel very challenging until basically the very, very end. And the bulletin boards feel like such a point-and-click adventure game thing. It feels a bit odd to stand still in a platformer, you know, to genuinely just stand still and read something while you're not, like, in a cutscene. And I could so easily imagine Psychonauts being this adventure game, and, you know, you see the one screen, right? The one wide screen with, like, the trees and the lodge and everything. And if you click on the lodge, you go inside, and if you click on the bulletin board, you get to read all the messages and get that funny little optional dialogue. Most of the times, this is good, I think. The platforming isn't all that difficult, and it lets you just kind of properly explore in the third person and experience the story. But when Psychonauts is bad, it is because it can't find that happy medium, where it feels like it's asking too much of you in a platforming sense when you're wanting to adventure, or more rarely the opposite. It feels like it's asking too much of you in an adventuring sense when you just want a platform. Most of the time I feel like it does a good job, but sometimes it can get very frustrating. I think we have some new stuff over here.
What are you doing?
Shh! I'm trying to hear them talk.
My bad, not yet.
What's that?
Here we are. Back with my permit and ready to learn, sir.
Okay, I got it. Check it out.
Excellent.
Technically, I did actually skip some
My
dialogue with
assistant.
Sasha where he
Are
said
you
that
sure
he
you are
needed the
ready to do
permit, but
this?
it's fine.
It could be dangerous.
Yes. Are you gonna pull me into your mind like the coach did?
No offense, but it's time you saw what an organized mind looks like.
I like how they all have little custom doors. Living his mod fantasy,
Welcome
baby.
to my mind.
It's so empty. I mean...
There's more here than meets the eye, but I've learned to keep it under strict control, and that's what I'm going to teach you. Control your feelings, your fears, your anger. You must learn to control them, focus them, concentrate them, and release them.
As therapy?
No, as firepower.
Yeah.
Say something hideous and horrible jumps out at you. Something so disgusting that it simply must die. So tacky. I can't look directly at it, but I control those feelings. Focus them, concentrate, And release. And the world is a better place. Your turn.
Here we go.
Well done, Raz.
I'll
Keep
show you
shooting.
guys a
Well done,
cute
Raz.
little
Keep
trick with
shooting.
Psyblast in a bit once I get more
Excellent.
control and I'm out of the
Victory for
tutorial.
good taste. Now you must strive for precision when targeting. Say you were set upon by multiple attackers. But you need to dispense with them in a certain order. Eliminate these monsters in the proper sequence, and we can move on to the next lesson. Good. Again. Good. Again. Now then. Is this what you saw in your vision?
Well, it sure seemed a lot bigger in my head.
Ah, problems often seem larger in our
Poor
heads
Raz,
than
so
they really
unsure.
are. That's an important lesson to learn.
But
This is a sensor, an integral part of any sane person's mind. The sensors roam through your psyche, looking for thoughts that don't belong, hallucinations, manias, waking dreams. The sensors hunt them down and censor them out.
why do they come after me? I'm not a mania.
Yes, but you are a foreign entity in my mind. You technically don't belong here.
Yes, but I was attacked in my own head.
Yes, well, the brain tumbler could be malfunctioning, or you could be insane. We'll test for that later. For now,
Blast it.
Alright, so a quick little thing about Psyblast is, let me blast this way. So I'm just gonna hold forward and then we'll Psyblast, and so you can see that takes kind of a long time to come off of, not cooldown, but its little buffer, like, oh, it takes so long. So what you can do instead is when you lock on, you get like very Ocarina of Time style, you get all these little flippies, and so you just do that by pressing A and pressing in one direction. So if you do that and Psyblast at the same time, you can do it
That's the
really, really
spirit.
fast and basically
Killed it.
infinitely
It was just
while
a
moving.
thought I was having, and it's not dead. It has just returned to its basic form, raw psychic energy. Go absorb it. It's good for your mental health.
This is just in case you didn't get any mental health and basic braining.
as you absorb energy, your mental health
Ooh,
increases.
that was weird.
But as you Psyblast, you expend your will to do damage. So be on the lookout for these small, dense clusters of raw psychic aggression. Absorb these as well to make sure you always have enough firepower.
Now I'll leave the machine on for you, so you can practice. You have to blast 1,000 sensors to earn your marksmanship merit badge.
1,000?
Come back every day for practice, and you should have enough in as little as 3 weeks.
3 weeks? I only have a few days to earn all my merit badges and become a Psychonaut.
Slow and steady wins the race, my eager young friend. Now practice, slowly and carefully.
Oh, man.
Slowly and carefully. Okay. Don't mind me. Oops. What if we just did all of them at the same time?
Uh-oh.
We've caused a psychic break.
Oh, yeah. Come to Papa.
Raz, what have you done? This is not control. This is chaos. I'll try to fix it. You stay here and keep their numbers under control.
So this is sort of what I mean when I say it's right between a platformer and an adventure game. Even if it were the fact that it's very point-and-click adventure in camp, and then in all the levels it's very platformer. Levels like these kind of disprove it. Basic Braining and the level after this are very much just straight-up platformers. But this feels more partway between platforming and adventuring. And even later on, we'll get levels that are very much adventure and puzzle focused.
Rasputin, see those valves? That is where the sensors are leaking out. Psyblast the valves to shut them down and get this area under control.
It's just curious that normally I feel like Raz breaking the practice machine would be the kind of thing that you see in a cutscene. Like, it would just directly come from the previous cutscene and have Raz breaking it. But that's not what you do. You have to do it yourself. I don't really know anybody who has actually tried to get to 1,000 and then realized too late that they were supposed to pull all the levers. But I just think it's nice that it lets you do it. And I do wonder, if you play this game and you tried to get all of the sensors and then realized that you couldn't and just broke it, let me know, because I think that's super interesting. The ludonarrative harmony, as they say, of feeling bored yourself from trying to get 1,000 sensors, so you just do what Raz would do. Anyways, let's get this. Learn a little bit about Sasha. Sasha's first loss. Oh, Mom. Boo. There's Papa. Oh, no. She's very sick, and then they drew a little thing above her head so you know she is an angel. And then just depressed. Poor guy. Remember old-timey times where you had to bury your own family? Not for me. And poor Sasha left all alone with his blocks. As a tiny little baby. I don't think I can reach this. Oh, I sure can. Just grab a couple of figments while I'm here.
This hat box needs a hat box tag.
Oh yeah, getting 100% in this level is a little bit annoying because you do need to go back and forth between all the different things quite a bit. I don't even know what you'd call them. All the different stages, I guess? I'm too used to playing this game very leveled up, and I keep trying to go get the mental cobwebs, rather.
Good. Well, you got them all.
I could have just grabbed the hatbox tag and then gone back and then come back again, but it's not that serious. I hate this one. Out of all the regions in Sasha's mind, I hate this one the most. It's so obnoxious. Because at this stage of the game, you don't have a lot of psychic abilities. You don't have a lot of tools.
Oh no. You close one leak down and another springs up. Well, come on. We've got to take care of these too.
What was I saying? I forgot. Oh god. Alright, we don't have a lot of psychic abilities yet. We don't have a lot of tools to really play the game. So it's a bit straightforward, and again, the game never feels 100% comfortable when it comes to, like, not really platforming, but like doing multiple things at once. Platforming and combat, it never feels super happy with. So places like this, where that's all of the challenge, they feel really strange to play. I don't even remember where the purse is on this one. Oh, it's right up there. Let's go grab the tag then. But yeah, in levels where you don't have a lot of psychic abilities, these ranged attacking sensors feel not super fun to play against. I got him though. There's definitely, you don't really need to care a lot about the psychic ability upgrades, except I think that one in particular, which is getting your Psy Blast to ricochet, is super nice to have. You can get it pretty early too, I feel like. It's really the only upgrade that I would consider genuinely important and like really improves your quality of life. But there's some other nice ones. I just wouldn't go out of my way to get them, whereas I would for Ricochet. Unfortunately for Sasha, a cube has 6 sides. And we've only done 2 of them. It's so funny how the pre-rendered cutscenes look worse than the base game, at least I think so. They've aged quite a bit, huh? Ew, look at that roach! At least they look like bugs to me. Disgusting. The telltale sign of these little explodey guys. I actually don't remember what they're called, but I like them and their energy. I like that they go, wah, and then they just explode. Yeah, they're particularly useful for using ranged side blasts to deal with. And that's why learning how to do that little side jump trick is really important. Well, I guess not that important. The game's extremely doable without it, but it makes your life easier. That one's at the top of the shoe boxes. Unfortunately, we can't really rail grind upwards. Oh, jeez. Leave me alone, fellas. Luckily, I don't think they can climb ladders. Oh, but they can jump real high, like, ugh. Give me some of that mental health. I forgot. I thought that they couldn't jump quite that high, but they sure can. I was like, yeah, you know, the regular sensors can, but the little explodey guys, no, they can't jump that high. Made me eat my fucking words. Sasha's mind isn't my favorite, but I do love Sasha as a character. But I think I have stranger tastes in the Psychonauts levels than other people. A lot of people really hate the levels that I really like, so... And that is because I do look at the game as a sort of, like... Almost a real-time point-and-click adventure game, which isn't a real thing, I just made that up. But that's the best way I can describe it. A real-time 3D point-and-click adventure game. Which gets rid of the point-and-click, but I just mean... Adventure is a bit too nebulous of a category, right? Uncharted is an adventure game, God of War is an adventure game, Breath of the Wild is an adventure game. It's so nebulous. Anytime you're on an adventure, you can call it an adventure game. But Psychonauts feels like a 3D adventure game as a direct successor of point-and-click adventures. Ouch. Which is interesting, again. Double Fine has a penchant for inventing genres that don't exist, especially as inspired by genres that do exist. And I think Psychonauts is a good example of that. Even in the places where it's not successful.
I completely blocked off all of Sasha's sensor outlets.
Overall, I think it's very successful with what it does.
Young man, I hope you have learned a lesson here today.
Yes, I have. That shooting things is fun and useful.
No, that once you lose control of your own mind, it's very hard to get it back.
Yes, one's thoughts must be 100% controlled at all times.
Well, no. Actually, if you try to completely suppress your undesirable feelings, they'll build and eventually explode.
Oh, so, what would happen if you were to, say, completely block off all your sensor outlets?
Well, there would be a buildup of sensor energy within that would,
Poor Sasha.
eventually...
And the crippling anxiety he has tried to, stuff.
Run, Rasputin. Very fast.
You are my own creation. I command you to stop. Rasputin, it's time to earn your merit badge.
I like... a lot of Psychonauts' humor is based around, like, faking things out, you know what I mean? Like, making you think that Sasha's dead for maybe half of a second. And then he's fine, he's just on the underside of the stamp. Woo! Remember, a cube has 6 sides. Oh heck, where's the other one? We had a little push. Wait, where is the other one? Oh no, I feel like such a fool. I forgot where it is.
Peel me off and put me down.
I'm gonna have to cut some corners. Because I think I turned earlier when I didn't mean to. Oh no, I used to be able to do this so easily. I just like to jump around the edges here, because it makes it harder for me.
Sensors are re-energizing the big one.
Yeah, it's no good to shoot the big sensor in this stage because he will regen his health, but... Oops, I got hit by that. again, the jumping and flipping. Oh, there goes, there goes the ball he threw at me. Oh, we got him.
So, is this where I get a speech and learn another lesson?
No, here's your merit badge. Let us never speak of this again.
Da, 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 da. Now we can side blast whenever we want.
I want to shoot more things.
Okay, enough about my mind. Let's stay out of my mind for a while. Let's just go back into yours, huh? Step up to the brain tumbler when you're ready.
Those are all the real levels we're gonna do for today, though. I'm gonna go back around camp, because there's a couple people I would like to talk to. That, if you notice the skip in the video, I thought I was gonna talk to before this, but I will now. Also, as you can see on the right above our, there's the scavenger hunt item I was thinking of. Now, Crullers and Sasha's. As you can see, Cruller wants to see us because he has a new ability for us. And we will sort of officially be level 10, or we'll get our level 10 awards, I suppose I should say. Oops. There I go. But first we're actually going to go to the main lodge. So I don't know... Oh no, I was going to say I don't know why I walked up here. I walked up here specifically to get that item because I thought I saw it. But yeah. Because as I've been walking around camp, just anytime I see arrowheads, I always pick them up just because it makes life a little bit easier. So we're going to go to the main lodge. We're going to buy the dowsing rod, a few psychors.
Me outside the main
Then we're going to go see Cruller.
Oh, bring me back a burger this time, will you?
And then after that, we will continue talking to some of the campers. Honestly, I'll probably run into a couple of them, I think, on my while I'm doing my errands here. But we'll see. There's a couple in particular I really want to talk to. Or I guess see is the right word, not talk to. I don't know why I walked all the way around the chair. Also, earlier we saw Milka here, and she kept turning invisible whenever we would walk over to her. And she is drawing a picture of Hilton.
Excuse me.
I told you them burgers ain't ready.
No, you didn't.
Oh, that's right. We had this cutscene, but again, I didn't talk to him again when I had to replay this, so he doesn't know.
Now that dowsing rod will help you. Excellent choice. What else can I do you for?
Now that we have a dowsing rod, it'll make our lives a lot easier when it comes to getting arrowheads later on. I'm just gonna buy a bunch of Psychors because we do not need the cobweb duster for quite some time. I wish you could buy in bulk, but later.
Alrighty then. What else can I do you for? Excellent choice. What else can I do you for? Now,
I'm just gonna buy as many as I can.
To the big-headed kid with the gloves. What else can I do you for? Alrighty then. What else can I do you for?
I'll take it.
Excellent choice. What else can I do you for?
I'll take it. Sold to the big-headed kid with the gloves.
What else can I do you for?
You end up buying a lot of Psychors. You're not really supposed to buy them in bulk, I feel like, but that's who I am as a person, so
That's it for now.
we're not gonna use all of those, but hopefully we won't have to buy some of the Psychors later.
Come on back.
Also, the way that you use the dowsing rod is, I'm really not sure how it works on PC. I'm playing on PC, but I'm playing with a controller. But on the left, you can see there's like a little gauge, and it also makes this high-pitched whining sound. But in addition to that, and probably most useful feedback, is the vibrations of a controller. So, where I'm standing, like right here, it's making a high-pitched sound, and it does also, like, maximum vibration in my hand. So if I mash Y here, and there we go. We just spent over 100 arrowheads on Psychors, and we almost have all of them back. You can only do that once or twice in any given area, so I'm just gonna move on for now. I don't need to start grinding those just yet, but as I walk around, I'll probably get like... Just try and look for one or two as I'm walking around. Just sort of passively collect them to make sure we're ready later. Oops, that was a weird angle. Is now when I can talk to you, Alton.
What are you doing?
Shh!
No.
I'm trying to hear them talk.
In recognition of your hard work, dedication, and mental agility, I'm proud to bestow upon you the official merit badge for pyrokinesis.
I like how I said I wouldn't do it every time, and so far I have done it every single time.
Cool. I can't wait to burn. Hey, what are we doing here?
Inside your mind? Well, I thought you'd like to be in a familiar place for your first pyrokinesis lesson.
Lesson?
Shh, now think of something you'd like to burn.
Aggro
Oh, yes,
ass.
I heard you were raised in the circus, but why would you want to burn all these happy memories here?
If they were happy memories, I wouldn't have run away. My dad, he hates psychics, and he knew I was becoming one. So all day long he would force me to practice my acrobatics, hoping to distract me, or maybe hoping to kill me. I never was sure.
Ooh.
Now why are you still talking when you could be burning stuff?
But that's how you respond as a grandfather figure.
Great! Now, think. You're getting warmer. Keep going. Ooh, it's getting hot in here. Rasputin, lock your mental focus on this last one and hold it while you use your pyrokinesis power. Rasputin, lock your mental focus on this last one and hold it while you use your pyrokinesis power. Excellent work.
Fire is pretty.
Okay, that's the end of the lesson. You're free to go, but you have to promise me, only use your power, pyrokinesis only, when it's very, very important, or it's really, really entertaining.
I promise.
And if you're doing it to impress girls, make sure none of them have on a lot of hairspray.
Is it not extremely clear why I enjoy him so much? Just a goofy old man. A goofy, kind old man. Let's get these psychors. Luckily, these go all at once. Which is strange, that you have to buy them individually, but if you have a bunch of them, they just go like this. So yeah, we're at rank 18. We'll get another power in just a couple, but we're way ahead of the curve here. You really don't need pyrokinesis for a hot minute, I want to say. They'll tell you if you need it, but obviously you should be there at this point. So I think we're actually pretty good for this episode. Just around an hour this time. Definitely a lot less to go through with all of the setup in the first episode. Let me just go back to Agent 9's lab.
Please?
With pleasure.
Just to make sure that I'm there and that we're ready. I was hoping to get more of the camper stuff. I thought I could do it right now, but apparently not. So, I mean, I said just about an hour. It'll probably be even less than that because of how much time I spent walking around. So, yeah. Episode 2 of Psychonauts in the books. I gotta talk about a lot of things I want to talk about. I'll definitely want to retouch on the whole, like, platformer adventure hybrid thing later. Because as the game goes on, naturally the levels get a lot more complex, and the more complex levels can feel kind of strange depending on what they decide to focus on. Whether they decide to focus on platforming or adventuring. Sometimes they try to do both, and it doesn't always go super great. So yeah, we'll get into that later. Thank you to all of my lovely patrons for supporting me continuously, allowing me to make this lovely content, play video games for a living, entertain you guys, hang out, have a good time. So yeah, thank you. If you would like to get your name on the screen like these people, patreon.com/lotus. Once I hit 20 patrons, I'll play and stream Dark Souls 3, and then VODs and highlights will also come out on YouTube. Also, shoutouts to those patrons, because they're seeing this first. They got early access. So hello, patrons. I hope you're doing well. And I hope that you enjoyed this. I'll be back soon, TM, where we will do the rest of Sasha's brain tumbler experiment and then continue to move on, get a little spicier, use a little bit more of our brains, both for psychic powers and critical analysis. So yeah, thank you all for joining me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!